Hello, what's going on, and welcome back to some more FC25 Ultimate Team content. You guys loved the last video where I went through each position and I showed you 3 fantastic options to use in your starter builds. Well, we're back at it again, and I've got more of a mid-budget to more expensive. There might be a couple of cards that are like extortionate, but I wanted to give you guys some options, and these players are absolutely going to be used in those meta builds. So get ready, drop a like if you enjoy. Now let's do it. So in FC25, a lot has changed for the goalkeepers, especially because of the Playstyle Plus. And you can see Alisson here with Deflector, that pretty much pushes the ball to those safety areas or to your own players themselves. So instead of you conceding that stupid rebounds where the goalkeeper just parries it over to your opponents, that will really help. Well, essentially it's going to be helping. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out. But 70,000 coins price prediction on Alisson, I think he's probably going to be around about there. Then we have Oblak, and there are only a few players on the game that have the diving one. So basically, this stops the long shots. So he can dive really far and reach into the corners. And the only other player notable, anyway, is Buffon that has the same like play style. So instead of spending like 500,000 coins on a Buffon, you've got Oblak here that's probably going to be amazing at the start. And then Edison, just to give you a bit more variety, well, he is already looking like one of the most broken goalkeepers to use because of the Playstyle Plus. Like, long ball on a goalkeeper. How long until it's going to take people to figure out to R1X over, over the line as soon as the ball kicks into play? Or maybe from kickoff where you're going to play it over to your midfielder, play it back and then trigger a run. People will abuse that mechanic, no question about that. And 30,000 coins price prediction, absolutely no way. He's going to be 100k minimum, maybe even the rest. So it's not until you look through the database and you realize there aren't that many mid-budget like meta options in the fullback positions, unless you're spending a lot of money on Maicon or I guess Cafu, Zambrotta. So it is really difficult to find. But Kyle Walker, every year, you can't go wrong. Like, he's going to be about 150,000 coins as soon as the game comes out, and then maybe settles for about 100 again. But really reliable, just a beast, really, if you can get your hands on him. But you never really want to pay as much as that for a fullback day 1 or day 2. But Frimpong coming in here, a price prediction of 25,000. I think he's going to be more than that. But I also believe he might not be as broken as we assume. Like, I still think that he's going to be one of the meta options that everyone like tries to run in their teams early on. But because of the lack of physicality, it might put people off, or it might put myself off anyway. But when you look at that dribbling and pace, I reckon as an attacking fullback or wingback, people will find the roles and figure out the best way to get the most use out of him. And then with the Llorente, funnily enough, right, the 2 right backs are right mids. It's so hard to find. But Llorente, we had him actually in the other video where I recommended to play him as a centre mid. And this is why, like, he will be expensive. Everyone's going to want to use him. He's one of the best players to pick up anyway in that fullback position. I think personally last year, he outperformed Kyle Walker for me. There was just something a little bit more on the ball, or just, I don't know, just better with him, to be honest with you. So Llorente, very good pickup. So don't worry, there will be some women featuring in this list, but like the last video, I don't really want to recommend centre-backs I wouldn't use. Renard, if she were to get like some promo cards, maybe. But for now, we're going to focus on what's going to be in those like meta mid-budget sides. And Guardiola is kind of brand new to the scene. Like, I never saw many people run him as a centre-back, especially at the start. Maybe once he started receiving these Evos, but this is a quality card and deserves the upgrade. Block plus playstyle. So the same as Ronald last year, and he was a beast. The pace, the balance to his dribbling, defending and physical, and he's a ball-playing defender, so he gives you that role, and I reckon he is going to be top quality. And then Akanji, I mean, that would be a good pairing just to start you off, right? But 15,000 coins for Akanji, I reckon a little bit more, personally. I think he's going to be about 25,000. He just looks super, super reliable, and he was one of the best Evos for me last year, and with 85 defending is top-notch. And then Mickey van der Ven, my goodness me, yeah, 45,000 coin price prediction. I think he might even be a lot more than that, because it's not that they've just gone and given him 88 pace and like 70-odd defending. Like 83 defending on a starter player. That is insane. Like, he is 100% going to be meta. He might like take over the whole like Rafael Varane and those types of players that you can use from the start until like pretty much team of the year. Like, he looks completely busted for an 82. Crazy card. It's a little bit criminal for me to drop out Virgil van Dijk, but it's not necessarily that I'm going to drop him from the list. Everybody knows that he's the best centre back on the game, right? So he would be in the more expensive, like absolute mega. But Yap Stam, this kind of like defeats my argument here, because I've dropped him in and he's probably going to be about like 500k, maybe, like probably the same price as Virgil van Dijk. But I wanted to recommend him because once he receives his like prime version, I think he is going to be literally the best centre back to use as like a meta bulkier, like just an actual unit. And then you have Ronald that you can never really go wrong. Like if you can pick him up for like 60k, he more than likely does increase in value, and he's just so reliable with his strength, and he still has his block plus playstyle, which is fantastic. And then with Rudiger, he has been given an upgrade, right? But they took away from his aerial plus and they've given him bruiser plus. So if you're someone that is going to be using that advanced defending and shield people out, I think Rudiger is going to be a fantastic option for you and myself as well, because that's what I'm going to want to use on FC25. But just another three options, just because we had, well, technically 2 centre-back positions. But yeah, those are the best players that you can really pick up, in my opinion. So I do need to mention that Theo Hernandez won't be in this lineup right now because his upgrade is stupid. Like already he was one of the most broken cards to use at the start of the game, and now they've given him like an actual upgrade where he looks so much more expensive. Too much money. Like I don't even think that we should recommend him for like a mid-budget, like meta-ish side. But then again, like Ferland Mendy that I've had to drop in here just because like there are really not many options at all. And I think Mendy himself is going to probably be about 100k or so. But that's better than spending probably 300,000 coins on a Theo Hernandez. And then he also received a crazy upgrade as well. Like his physicality to 85. He just looks like insane. Mad. And he did get like a +1, I believe. Still going to be one of the rarest cards to pull though. And then we look at the Batcher card as well, attacking wingback. I didn't really ever personally like her myself, but she was 100% meta at the start, like using that whip pass and just getting those crosses in, like really was annoying to defend against. And she was in the majority of the teams. And then we did see Rolfo feature as well. And I don't think you can go wrong with her, like the Jockey Plus playstyle. She's not as quick as the other two, but she does give you like a really nice way of like dribbling, playmaking, and you can also play her as a left winger. There's no question in my mind that these two Italians are going to be the most overused pairing on FC25, but can you blame people? Like, check them out. Like, if you can get your hands on these two, they're going to last until Team of the Year and the rest. Or maybe just Team of the Year. But Barella, like super balance, Relentless Plus as well to put on a bit more press. And then the box-to-box, that's where I intend to play him personally. And then with Tonali's price prediction at 100,000 coins, I reckon he could be more. Because like I say, there's not that many alternatives that look as good as him with that pace and just really nice defending. And what I want to do with Tonali this year, because they've changed the way Evos work, is once he's eligible, I want to throw him into an Evo and just keep Evoing him even until like the end of the game where I've got like a 99 Sandro Tonali. That would be like super satisfying. And then let's not forget Patry, right? She was very good on FC24, and I think it's going to be the same case for this new game. She gives you that long ball plus play style, which is fantastic. And she was a unit. Like, she was very difficult to play against, and a lot of people did rate her card, and then she started receiving promos. So yeah, check her out. Deep line playmaker. She'd be good. So we do have another Italian on the list, and I don't think you guys realize how crazy this transfer is for Chiesa coming over to the Premier League playing for Liverpool. 70,000 coin price prediction. Ain't no way he's going to be as cheap as that. He'd probably be about 200, like genuinely, especially when you check out his positions, right wing, left wing, striker, right mid. That is so much variety. Gives you tons of options. And I think with the roles that he's going to be able to play for you, you're going to be able to build like a lot of like teams around him, to be fair. So Chiesa, fantastic. Then we've got the old Trinity Rodman. She was very good. A little bit pricey though. Like, I was thinking last year going into the female like MLS, just so they were going to be cheap. But in fact, it was the complete opposite, because a lot of those cards got incredible chemistry, and Trinity Rodman just looked proper broken on the game. And she was decent as well to use at the start. Very, very fast. And then Diani, my queen. I mean, she did mess me up a little bit. Her team of the season moments was a letdown, but her Thunderstruck version on FC24 was incredible. And I don't think there's going to be really any issues with her on FC25. You're going to be able to stick her as a striker on the wing. Like, she still looks proper good. So jump into the opposite wing. Two of these players can play on the right side anyway. But there is a new player that's going to enter the meta scene. In my personal opinion, it's going to be Nico Williams. I know his shooting right now may seem a little bit low, but to use at the start with that rapid plus, the pace, the dribbling, I think he's going to be very broken just to get down the line and look for cutbacks. The 4-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot, incredible. And you give him one promo card to fix that shot to maybe like 80, 82. I think he really is going to be incredible. And his Euros run, in my opinion as well, I thought he was better than Yamal. I thought he was more influential and just an absolute beast. So Nico Williams, keep an eye out this year. And then we've got Luis Diaz, again, another player that you can't really go wrong. Once you've started off with, I don't know, maybe Pulisic or those types of players that we had in the starter builds, you might want to move over to Luis Diaz. But it's tough though, because it is very difficult to find these wingers unless you're spending like 200, 300,000 coins. It's like, it's a lot of money, especially in this area. And then Rafael, I mean, you can't go wrong again, like striker to play there or left mid, left wing. I mean, with that Rapid Plus as well, he is going to be a bit pricey though, of course. But he does give you that alternative so you can build teams around him, which is really important. So back when I used to use the 4-2-3-1, that middle cam position would always be a winger. I would never be able to get away with just using a regular cam because they're not quick enough. They don't have that technical dribbling. It just never really worked out. So I think we've done a good job here, but we've had to rely on the two females to really help us out because Neymar will be expensive, whereas these two are going to give you more like the cheaper option, but bang for your buck pretty much. So Righton, I reckon that her cam position really does suit her well. She's got a nice balance to the dribbling and passing, and that pace is just ridiculous. 25,000 coins though, I don't know. I think she's going to be a little bit more expensive. And then you got Lauren James. Her team of the season was truly fantastic. Short-lived. I only had her for like 1 week in league run when I was doing the English objective, but wow, she was good. So it makes me want to like test her out early on FC25. But the fact that she can play on the wing as well, which is really, really handy. And then you've got like just, again, a nice balance to her approach. She's got the skills, the weak foot. I reckon she is going to be proper broken. And then Neymar, like I say, he's just a bit too expensive, unfortunately. But there, again, there's not that many options unless you want to go and use like a Talisca or somebody. Like, come on, like really, really tough. So I think in the cam position specifically, you're probably going to have more success going down the female leagues and checking those cards out for sure. So we've got the strikers to finish it off, but it goes without saying, there are going to be some better players on the game. I mean, if you've got the coins to go and buy Erling Haaland and Mbappe, I mean, that would be recommended. But these three are looking quality. Now, one of the best meta cards from last year, he has to be entered into this list, and it is Heung-min Son. Like, just stupidly good when it came to those finesse shots, and just really, really broken. Another player that I've actually thought about, which is Mo Salah. He was how much on the game? I think he was a lot of money, though. Was he not pushing like 400,000 coins, Mo Salah, last year? I think he was, like, as much as that. Whereas Heung-min Son was cheaper, but like so broken, but maybe people are going to remember that and he'd be a little bit more of a premium. But like, you couldn't go wrong with him as a striker. And then Alexander Isak, like, genuinely, I think he does enter into this like meta mid-budget build now. Whereas you look at the upgrade that he's received compared to some like other players, like he genuinely looks insane. And he's been given base finesse shot as well, so keep that in mind. So that's going to really add to his finishing. But the pace is great. The shooting is super, super high. And then you've got that really nice control as well with his like lengthier running. Watch out for him. He is going to be insane. I think 35,000 price prediction though is not really reasonable. I think he's going to be probably like 70k, like stupid price, like straight away. Maybe 60 to be a little bit more fair. Yeah, 60k. And then you got Rodrigo as well to finish off the list. To play him on the wing, I think that could be a really nice option. But to have him as a striker, if you really are wanting like that dribbling vibe with a good amount of pace and reliable shot, you know, you're going to have to pay a lot of money to find that. Like one player in particular, I'd be going for like a Di Natale if I'm looking for that feel. But, you know, you guys aren't going to have 750,000 to splash out for a striker. Whereas Rodrigo, I think, is going to be around about that 100,000 coin price tag, maybe a little bit cheaper. So, you know, it gives you like a reasonable goal to like work towards and maybe bring him in. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the list. If I've missed out any players that you think that, you know, should be recommended to other people, drop it in the comment section. But we are edging closer and closer to FC25 release. We've got the RTG plan for this year. We've got some bonus videos that I'm going to be producing. The consistency is going to be shown, and I'm going to really enjoy it. So thank you very much for being here. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now. Peace.